It's a funny thing, when people see someone successful, they call them lucky. They assume they had the right connections, the right timing, or some hidden advantage. But let me tell you something, success isn't an accident. It's not a random event. It's a choice. Look at any high achiever, whether in business, sports, leadership, or any field, and you'll find something remarkable. They think differently. They approach life, problems, and opportunities with a mindset that sets them apart from the average. The question is, what is that mindset? And more importantly, can you develop it? The answer? Yes, you can. Imagine two people standing at the starting line of a race. One of them knows exactly where they are going, how far they need to run, and what pace they need to maintain. The other, they just start running, hoping to figure it out along the way. Now, which one do you think has a better chance of winning? Life works the same way. Most people wake up every day with no clear direction. They move through life reacting to circumstances rather than creating their own path. But high achievers, they operate differently. They have absolute clarity about what they want. They don't guess. They don't hope. They decide. And once that decision is made, everything else falls into place. Think about it. If you don't know what you want, how will you know what steps to take? If you don't have a destination, how will you ever get there? See, the world rewards clarity. The moment you get clear on your goals, your vision, and your purpose, life starts working for you instead of against you. But clarity doesn't just happen. It's something you have to develop. It starts with asking yourself the right questions. What do you really want? Not what someone else wants for you, not what society expects from you, but what do you want for yourself? And don't just give a vague answer. I want success is not enough. What does success look like to you? Is it financial freedom, a thriving business, a strong, healthy body, a fulfilling relationship? You need to be specific. The more detailed your vision, the stronger your focus becomes. And once you define it, write it down. There's something powerful about taking a thought and putting it on paper. It moves from being an idea to being a commitment. High achievers don't keep their vision locked in their minds. They make it real by writing it, speaking it, and reviewing it daily. They remind themselves constantly of where they're going, and because of that, their actions align with their vision. But let me tell you something, clarity alone is not enough. You must believe in your vision. If you don't believe it's possible, you'll never take the necessary action to achieve it. This is where most people fail. They set goals, but deep down, they don't truly believe they can achieve them. And because they don't believe, they don't act. They hesitate, they procrastinate. And before they know it, months and years have passed with no real progress. High achievers, on the other hand, operate from a different mindset. They see their goals as already done. They don't say, I hope this works. They say, this is happening. They move with certainty, with conviction. And because of that, they create momentum. See, clarity plus belief equals unstoppable action. And let's talk about action for a moment. Because clarity means nothing if you don't back it up with movement. Once you know exactly what you want, your job is to start building toward it every single day. Even small steps matter. Too many people get stuck thinking they need to know every single detail before they begin, but that's not how it works. You decide, you start, and you adjust along the way. Think of it like driving a car at night. Your headlights only show a few hundred feet ahead, but that's all you need. As long as you keep moving forward, the road keeps revealing itself. The same goes for success. You don't need to see the whole picture right now. You just need to see the next step. And that step becomes clearer the moment you commit to moving forward. But let's be real. Clarity also means saying no to distractions. It means eliminating what doesn't serve your vision. It means removing the noise, the unnecessary commitments, the people and habits that pull you away from your goal. High achievers are not just focused on what to do, They're just as focused on what not to do. Because here's the truth, success is not just about effort. It's about direction. You can work hard every single day, but if you're climbing the wrong ladder, you're only getting further from where you truly want to be. Clarity is what ensures that every action, every effort, every sacrifice is taking you closer, not further from your dreams. And clarity is not something you find once and forget. It's a continuous process. It requires reflection, reassessment, and refinement. It requires you to check in with yourself to make sure you're still on the right track, to ensure that your goals still align with your values and aspirations. High achievers don't just set a vision once and hope it works out. They revisit it, adjust it, and stay connected to it every single day. Because at the end of the day, the greatest tragedy is not failing to reach a goal. The greatest tragedy is never knowing what you truly wanted in the first place. Most people wait for motivation before they take action. They wake up and check how they feel. If they're energized, they work hard. If they're tired, they take it easy. If they live their lives as if their emotions are the ones in charge, and that's why they never get anywhere. High achievers don't play that game. They don't rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. See, motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline, that's permanent. It stays even when you don't feel like showing up. And that's the difference between success and failure. The person who only works when they're motivated will always be inconsistent. But the person who has discipline will move forward no matter what. Think about an athlete training for a championship. Do you think they wake up every day excited to work out? No. There are mornings when they feel exhausted, days when they'd rather stay in bed. But they don't let their feelings decide their actions. They get up, they train, they follow the plan, not because they feel like it, but because they committed to it, and that's why they win. Now, here's the secret. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And the way you build it is by making small promises to yourself and keeping them. Because every time you do what you say you're going to do, you strengthen your self-discipline. But every time you break your own word, you weaken it. Let's take an example. Let's say you decide you're going to wake up early every morning and read for 30 minutes. The first few days, you're excited, you feel good, you're motivated. But then one morning you wake up and you don't feel like it. You hit snooze, you skip reading. And just like that, you've sent a message to your mind. My word doesn't matter. And that's dangerous. Because the more you do this, the easier it becomes to break promises to yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, how can you ever expect to succeed? Discipline is trusting yourself to follow through. It's knowing that when you say you'll do something, you actually do it. That's why high achievers seem so confident, not because they were born that way, but because they've proven to themselves that they can rely on their own discipline. And here's where most people go wrong. They think discipline means doing big things. They think it means working 12 hours a day, making massive sacrifices, pushing to the extreme. But that's not where discipline starts. Discipline starts in the smallest decisions. It's in waking up when you say you will. It's in finishing that last set at the gym when you want to quit. It's in making one extra sales call even when you're tired. Those tiny moments, they're what shape your character. Now, let's talk about habits, because discipline and habits go hand in hand. See, high achievers don't waste time deciding whether or not they'll take action. They've already decided. They've built habits that make discipline automatic. Instead of relying on willpower, they rely on structure. They create an environment where success is the default. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it, right? You don't wake up and say, I hope I feel like brushing my teeth today. No, you just do it. That's how discipline should be. When success or headed habits become part of your identity, you no longer need motivation to follow through. But let's be real, discipline isn't easy. That's why so few people have it. It requires sacrifice. It requires pushing through discomfort. It requires saying no to distractions. It requires saying no. But here's the good news. The more disciplined you become, the easier it gets. What once felt difficult becomes second nature. And that's when you start to separate yourself from the crowd. Because the truth is, most people can't stay consistent. They start strong, but then they quit when it gets hard. High achievers, they keep going. They keep executing the plan even on the bad days. They don't make excuses. They don't negotiate with themselves. They do what needs to be done every single day. And that's why they reach levels of success that most people only dream of. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being reliable. It's about proving to yourself over and over again that you can count on yourself, because once you build that level of discipline, there's nothing you won't be able to achieve. Imagine you're planting a seed. You put it in the soil, water it, and wait. Days go by and nothing happens. A week, still nothing. Most people would start doubting, maybe even give up. But what they don't realize is that beneath the surface, something is happening. The seed is breaking open. Roots are beginning to form. The foundation is being built. And if you just keep watering it, eventually one day a tiny sprout breaks through. Success works the same way. Growth is invisible before it becomes visible. Most people want results now. They want the rewards before they've built the roots. They want the fruit without nurturing the tree. And when they don't see instant progress, they get frustrated, they quit, they move on to something else. And that's why they never achieve anything great, because they don't understand the principle of compounding effort. The fact that small, consistent actions done daily create massive results over time. Look at anyone who has built something extraordinary, a successful business, a strong body, a powerful skill set. They didn't get there overnight. They didn't take shortcuts. They put in consistent effort day after day, whether they felt like it or not. And at first, it looked like nothing was happening, but they understood something most people don't. The process is always working, even when you can't see it. Picture a person going to the gym for the first time. They work out for an hour, they push themselves, they sweat, then they go home, look in the mirror, and nothing has changed. They come back the next day, do it again, still nothing. A week later, still no visible difference. This is the moment where most people quit. They think, why am I doing all this if I don't see results? They don't realize that progress is happening at a deeper level. Their muscles are getting stronger, their endurance is improving, their body is adapting. And if they just stick with it, one day they'll look in the mirror and everything will have changed. This is why patience is so critical. Not the kind of patience where you sit around waiting, but the kind where you keep taking action, keep putting in the work, keep showing up, even when there's no immediate payoff. Because success is not about doing something once or twice. It's about doing it consistently. Most people struggle with this because they've been trained to expect instant gratification. They live in a world where everything happens fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast entertainment. And they're used to getting what they want now. But success doesn't work like that. Anything meaningful takes time. The problem is people measure success the wrong way. They focus too much on the short term. They look at how much weight they've lost in a week, how much money they've made in a month, how much progress they've made in a short period of time. And if the results aren't big enough, they assume it's not working. But success is not measured in days or weeks. It's measured in years. It's the accumulation of all the small efforts, all the little choices, all the invisible progress that eventually turns into something massive. Look at an iceberg. What you see above the water is only a tiny fraction of what exists. The real structure, the real strength is underneath. That's how success works. The world sees the results, the achievements, the victories, but what they don't see is the years of work that went into it. The late nights, the early mornings, the failures, the sacrifices. And that's why most people give up too soon. They work hard for a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a year. And when they don't see the huge results they expected, they stop. They move on to something else. What they don't realize is that they were right there, right on the edge of a breakthrough. If they had just kept going a little longer, if they had just trusted the process, everything would have changed. This is why momentum matters. Success is not linear, it's exponential. In the beginning, progress is slow. It feels like nothing is happening, but over time, as the effort compounds, things start moving faster and faster. One sale turns into 10, 10 turns into 100, one small improvement in skill turns into mastery. One connection leads to an opportunity that changes everything. And the key to all of this, keep going. No matter how small the progress seems, no matter how long it takes, just keep going. Because one day, when you least expect it, all that effort, all that patience, all that consistency, it's going to pay off in ways you never imagined. There's a simple rule in life. You don't get what you want, you get what you deserve. And what you deserve is determined by the value you bring. Too many people go through life demanding things. More money, more opportunities, more recognition. But they forget one thing. You don't get paid for wanting, you get paid for value. The world doesn't reward effort alone, it rewards results. It doesn't reward complaints, it rewards solutions. If you want more, you have to become more. Think about a business. A company doesn't just wake up one day and decide, let's charge people more money. No, they increase their value first. They improve their product, they refine their service. They solve bigger problems. And once they do that, people are willing to pay more. Because the value is there. Life works the same way. You don't ask for success, you earn it by increasing your value to the marketplace, to your workplace, to the people around you. Look at the most successful individuals in any industry. They didn't start at the top. They built themselves up by consistently adding more value. They developed their skills, expanded their knowledge, sharpened their abilities. They didn't just hope for more. They became the kind of person who naturally attracts more. That's the key. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming valuable. Take a job, for example. Let's say you want to earn more money. Most people think the way to do that is to demand a raise. But here's the truth. You don't get paid for time, you get paid for the value you bring to that time. Two people can work the same 8 hours, but one gets paid 10 times more than the other. Why? Because they bring more value, they solve bigger problems, they take on more responsibility. They contribute more to the success of the organization. So the real question isn't, how can I get more? It's, how can I become more valuable? How can you develop skills that make you indispensable? How can you solve problems that others can't? How can you improve what you do so much that the world can't ignore you? That's how you get ahead, not by waiting for opportunities, but by becoming the person who is ready when they arrive. Think about an athlete. If they want to be the best, they don't just show up on game day and hope to perform well. No. They put in the hours behind the scenes. They train harder, they study the game, they refine their technique. They make themselves valuable so that when the big moments come, they rise to the occasion. Success is earned in the dark before it's rewarded in the light. And here's the challenge. Most people want shortcuts. They want the rewards without the work. They want the praise without the performance. They look for the easy path, the quick win, the effortless success. But that's not how the world works. If you want long-term respect, long-term success, long-term growth, you have to be willing to put in the effort that most people aren't willing to do. Think about how people approach relationships. Some people demand respect, but they haven't proven themselves worthy of it. They want trust, but they haven't done anything to earn it. Respect isn't given because you ask for it. It's given because you've demonstrated value, integrity, and consistency over time. If you want to be respected, you have to become the kind of person others respect. This applies to every area of life: business, relationships, leadership, personal growth. If you want more, don't just ask for more. Become more. Increase your knowledge, improve your skills, work harder than you think you need to, deliver more than expected. Because the moment you do that, everything changes. Opportunities find you. People seek you out. You stop chasing success, and success starts chasing you. The great thing is, this is in your control. You may not control the economy, your competition, or the decisions of others. But you do control how much effort you put in. You do control how much you grow, how much you learn, how much you improve. And when you take control of that, your entire future opens up in ways you never imagined. Imagine two people starting at the same place in life, same background, same resources, same opportunities. Fast forward 10 years, and one of them is thriving, successful, respected, and living a life of fulfillment. The other is struggling, stuck in the same place, frustrated by a lack of progress. What made the difference? It wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it was something deeper: discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's what separates those who succeed from those who merely wish. Most people wake up every day hoping for a better life, but hope is not a strategy. Discipline it's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to distractions when it would be easier to give in. It's pushing through discomfort when your mind and body want to quit. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Look at the top performers in any field: business, sports, the arts. They didn't get there by accident. They got there by consistently making the right choices, even when it was hard. They trained when no one was watching. They worked when others were resting. They mastered the small things that most people overlook. Success isn't about making one big decision. It's about making 1,000 small ones every single day. The problem is, most people want results without sacrifice. They want the rewards of discipline without actually practicing it. They start strong but give up when things get tough. They rely on motivation, but motivation is temporary. It fades. It's unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. It's what keeps you going when motivation disappears. Think about health. Anyone can commit to eating healthy for a week. Anyone can go to the gym when they're feeling inspired. But the ones who transform their bodies and their health aren't the ones who do it for a week or a month. They're the ones who do it for years. It becomes a part of who they are, not just something they do occasionally. Or take personal growth. Reading one book won't change your life. Attending one seminar won't make you successful. But reading every day, learning consistently, applying what you learn over time, that's how you change your life. The truth is, we are what we repeatedly do. Your habits determine your future. If you have weak habits, you'll have a weak life. If you have strong habits, you'll build a strong life. The little things: waking up early, staying focused, working hard, improving yourself. These are what make the difference. Most people avoid discipline because it's uncomfortable. It requires effort. It requires sacrifice. But what they don't realize is that the pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. Skipping one workout, one study session, one productive hour might not seem like a big deal in the moment, but do it often enough and it compounds. Suddenly, years go by and you're wondering why you're not where you want to be. The good news is, discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. You have to force yourself to do things you don't want to do. But over time, it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about being disciplined anymore. You just are. Success isn't about massive, life-changing actions. It's about the small, daily disciplines that add up over time. It's about choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. It's about doing today what others won't so that tomorrow you can live like others can't. There's no shortcut. There's no magic formula. There's just doing the work day after day until one day you wake up and realize you've become the person you always wanted to be. There's a fundamental truth about life that many people overlook. You can't outperform your self-promote. No matter how hard you work, how many opportunities you get, or how much knowledge you acquire, if you see yourself as average, you will live an average life. If you see yourself as unworthy of success, you will sabotage your own progress. If you believe deep down that you don't deserve more, you will never have more. It all starts in the mind. Your results will never exceed the limits you place on yourself. Think about it. Every major success story, every breakthrough, every transformation, it all started with a shift in mindset. The most successful people in the world weren't handed their success. Many of them started with nothing. Some faced extreme challenges, setbacks, and failures. But what separated them from the rest was their belief system. They saw themselves as capable, valuable, and worthy of achieving great things. They didn't wait for external validation. They decided, before the results showed up, that they were going to succeed. And that belief shaped every action they took. Most people do the opposite. They let their circumstances dictate their self-dimension. If they fail, they label themselves as failures. If they struggle financially, they believe they'll always be broke. If they face rejection, they assume they're not good enough. And over time, those beliefs become their reality, not because they have to, but because they expect to. The mind is powerful. It will always find a way to confirm whatever you believe to be true about yourself. Imagine someone who wants to be wealthy, but deep down believes that rich people are greedy or that money is hard to come by. No matter how much they try to succeed, they'll subconsciously sabotage themselves. They won't take the risks necessary. They'll make poor financial choices. They'll push away opportunities without even realizing it. Why? Because the mind will always pull you back to what feels familiar, what aligns with your beliefs. This is why personal development is so crucial. If you want to change your life, you must first change how you see yourself. You must reprogram your mind to align with the life you want to create. It's not about pretending. It's about growing into the person who naturally achieves the results you desire. You don't just wake up one day with confidence, discipline, and success. You build those things over time through intentional action and reinforcement. One of the most effective ways to shift your self-position is through small, consistent wins. When you set a goal and achieve it, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable. When you push through discomfort and take action, you reinforce the belief that you are strong. Every time you make a disciplined choice, you tell yourself, this is who I am. And over time, those small wins compound, shaping a new identity. Another key is surrounding yourself with the right influences. If you spend your time with people who have low standards, negative mindsets, and limited beliefs, you will adopt those same patterns. If you listen to negative voices, you will doubt yourself. But if you surround yourself with people who think bigger, expect more, and push you to grow, your self-promotion will rise to match theirs. Environment shapes belief, and belief shapes action. Words also matter. What you say to yourself daily is shaping your future. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that success is for other people, that you always fail, guess what? Your mind will work to make those statements true. But if you start telling yourself that you are capable, that you are learning, that you are growing into the kind of person who succeeds, over time your mind will work to confirm that too. This isn't about empty affirmations or wishful thinking. It's about retraining your brain to support your growth instead of holding you back. It's about recognizing that the stories you tell yourself are either moving you forward or keeping you stuck. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. Success starts long before the results show up. It starts in the mind. It starts with a decision. A decision to see yourself as someone worthy of success, capable of growth, and deserving of an extraordinary life. When you truly believe that, everything else falls into place. Most people have dreams, but very few have a plan. They talk about what they want, they imagine a better future, but when it comes time to take action, they hesitate. Why? Because they're waiting for the right time, waiting for more confidence, waiting for permission. But here's the truth, waiting doesn't change anything. Clarity comes from action, not thought. If you want to build momentum, you have to start moving. Before you feel ready, before all the pieces are in place. Action creates results, and results create belief. Think about a plane taking off. It requires a massive amount of energy to get off the ground. The engines have to work at full power, pushing against gravity. But once the plane is in the air, everything gets easier. The same is true for any big goal. The hardest part is getting started. That's where most people fail. They hesitate, overthink, and delay until they lose momentum completely. But those who succeed don't wait until they feel 100% ready. They start knowing that clarity and confidence will come through the process. Many people get stuck in the trap of perfectionism. They want every detail to be just right before they take action. They think they need more knowledge, more preparation, more time. But perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. It's a way to avoid the discomfort of starting. The truth is, you will never have all the answers before you begin. You will learn as you go. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll start making real progress. Some of the most successful people in the world started before they felt ready. They launched businesses with imperfect plans. They pursued careers before they had all the skills. They took on challenges they weren't sure they could handle, but because they took action, they figured it out along the way. The key is to get in motion. The longer you wait, the more resistance builds up. The mind creates excuses, doubts creep in, and before you know it, another year has passed with nothing to show for it. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is that motivation comes first. People think they need to feel inspired before they take action. But that's not how it works. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you take action, no matter how small, you create momentum. You prove to yourself that you can do it. That feeling of progress fuels more action, and suddenly what once felt impossible becomes achievable. Think about any time in your life when you accomplished something difficult. Maybe it was getting in shape, learning a new skill, or achieving a career goal. It probably wasn't easy at first. There were moments of doubt, times when you wanted to quit. But the more you showed up, the more natural it became. The same applies to everything. Repetition builds confidence. The more you do something, the easier it gets. The problem is that most people never stick with something long enough to reach that point. They quit before the breakthrough. If you want to change your life, you have to commit to action. Not once, not occasionally, but every single day. You have to be willing to step into uncertainty, to move forward without all the answers. The best way to do this is to break big goals into small, manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the overwhelming finish line, focus on what you can do today. If you want to start a business, make the first phone call. If you want to get in shape, go for a short workout. If you want to become a speaker, practice in front of a mirror. Small steps create big results over time. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. They get discouraged when they don't see immediate results, so they give up. But success is built through consistent effort over time. Every day you take action, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every decision, every step, every moment of effort is shaping your future. The biggest breakthroughs come when you push through resistance. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when doubt creeps in, days when you wonder if it's all worth it. But the people who win are the ones who keep going. They understand that success isn't a one-time event. It's a series of daily choices. Everything you want is on the other side of action. Not waiting, not overthinking, not hoping, action. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need to start. And once you do, everything else will begin to fall into place. Success isn't something that happens by accident. It's not a lucky break or a one-time event. It's a pattern. It's a lifestyle. It's a series of habits and disciplines that, when repeated consistently, create extraordinary results. If you study the most successful people in any field, you'll notice something interesting. They don't rely on motivation. They don't wait to feel inspired before they take action. They have built habits that drive them forward, whether they feel like it or not. That's the difference. Most people live their lives based on how they feel in the moment. If they're tired, they skip the workout. If they're uninspired, they put off their goals. If they're uncomfortable, they choose the easy path. But those who achieve great things don't let emotions dictate their actions. They understand that habits are stronger than feelings. They don't ask themselves, do I feel like it today? They simply do what needs to be done, because they've conditioned themselves to take action even on the days when they don't feel like it. Discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop. It starts with small choices. The way you start your morning, the way you approach your work, the way you handle distractions. Every little decision either strengthens your habits or weakens them. And over time, those small choices create momentum. The more disciplined you become, the less effort it takes. It becomes second nature, just like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. You don't think about it, you just do it. That's the goal, to make success automatic. People often wonder why some individuals seem to achieve so much while others struggle. The answer isn't talent. It's not intelligence. It's habits. The most successful people have built routines that keep them on track. They don't wake up and hope they'll be productive. They have a plan. They don't leave their growth to chance. They have systems in place. They don't rely on willpower alone. They structure their environment to support their goals. Think about the last time you set a goal but didn't follow through. Maybe you wanted to get in shape, start a business, or improve a skill. What happened? Chances are you started strong, full of excitement, but as time passed, that motivation faded. And without strong habits to back you up, you fell back into old patterns. That's why so many people start and stop, because they rely on motivation instead of systems. The key to lasting success is to design habits that make progress inevitable. Instead of trying to force yourself to work harder, create an environment that makes productivity easy. Instead of relying on willpower, build routines that eliminate decision fatigue. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, commit to showing up no matter what. When you build systems around your success, you don't have to think about it, you just do it. One of the best ways to build strong habits is to start small. Most people make the mistake of setting massive, overwhelming goals right from the start. They try to change everything overnight, and when they struggle, they give up. But the truth is, small, consistent actions lead to massive results over time. If you want to read more, start with 10 minutes a day. If you want to get in shape, start with a short workout. If you want to be more productive, start by eliminating one distraction. It's not about making giant leaps, it's about making steady progress every single day. Another powerful strategy is to link new habits to existing routines. If you already brush your teeth every morning, attach a new habit to it. Maybe you do 5 minutes of stretching right after. If you drink coffee every morning, use that time to review your goals. If you commute to work, listen to an audiobook on the way. When you tie new habits to old ones, they become automatic. You don't have to force yourself to remember, you just do them naturally. Accountability is another game changer. It's easy to let yourself off the hook when no one is watching, but when you have someone keeping you accountable, everything changes. Whether it's a mentor, a coach, or a group of like-minded people, surrounding yourself with those who expect more from you will push you to stay consistent. Success isn't a solo journey. Having the right people in your corner makes all the difference. Your habits shape your future. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you want to become. If you develop the habits of success, success becomes inevitable. It won't be a matter of luck or chance, it will be a matter of time. The question is, are you willing to build the habits that will take you there? Because in the end, your success will be determined not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do consistently. Everything you want, every goal, every dream, every achievement comes down to one thing: the choices you make every single day. Success is not a mystery. It's not reserved for a special few. It's a predictable result of discipline, action, and mindset. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for less isn't luck or talent. It's the willingness to do what others won't. You now know the mindset of high achievers. You've seen how they think, how they act, and how they build the habits that lead to success. They don't wait for permission. They don't rely on motivation. They take responsibility, they embrace challenges, and they stay committed even when it's hard. Most importantly, they don't stop when they feel tired. They stop when they're done. The question now is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it pass by like another inspiring message? Or will you use it as fuel to take action? Will you remain in the cycle of hesitation and self-doubt? Or will you commit to the daily disciplines that create real change? Because in the end, it's not what you know that matters. It's what you do consistently. The time to act is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now. Because every day you wait is another day lost. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you could be using to move forward. Success doesn't belong to those who dream about it. It belongs to those who get up and do the work. So decide that you are going to be the kind of person who takes control of their life. Decide that you are going to push past resistance, build the right habits, and prove your worth through action. Decide that from this moment on, you will no longer settle for anything less than your full potential. Your future is being built right now. The only question is, will you take charge and create the life you want? Because the truth is, you are capable of more than you realize. But you'll never know until you take the first step. It's time to rise, to commit, and to prove once and for all that you have what it takes.